I feel like I'm gonna have to make a shirt of this. You know what I mean?
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start another video with the ongoing beef between Nick Walker and Bob Cicarello. Now who would have ever thought that this is gonna be the most talked about thing in bodybuilding after this year's Arnold. But the thing is, under the current circumstances, it is. Now Nick Walker fired back at Bob again by making this into a shirt, which is kind of hilarious. And there are a vast majority of bodybuilding fans who support Nick Walker in all of this. Also many people who have this argument that Nick Walker simply overreacted to that initial statement of Bob, which started the whole thing, that Nick Walker probably will never win an Olympia title. And there was actually nothing wrong with Bob making that statement. And honestly, Nick's chances of becoming Miss Olympia, they heavily rely on the other top three guys, Derek, Samson and Hadi Chopin, coming in off. And even Nick himself admitted this, that if all these other guys, they come in 100%, if Samson Dauda is 100%, he's gonna win it. But the situation escalated too much with that 8th place Olympia comment. And who knows, this beef might continue all the way till the Olympia this year. And wouldn't that get extremely awkward if Bob Cicarello is on the mic, taking all those interviews from all the athletes at this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro, and especially the mutant Nick Walker, who is just so damn confident that he's going there to win this thing hands down, and it's gonna be easy, beating a guy like Martin Fitzwater, the 4th best bodybuilder in the world right now. So Nick right now is 8 weeks out of this show, and things have started to look pretty crazy for the mutant. Now about the shirt thing, did you guys think it was a good idea or a good move? Or did Nick just give Bob's opinion a lot more value by making this move? Next up, we have an update from Andrew Jack, who's back in the gym after competing at the Arnold this year. And though he said he's taking it very slow during this phase so that he doesn't hear anything, trying to lift heavy and going super hard, but he was still pushing plenty of weights for chest and the shoulders in the recent training video. Now Andrew Jack must be feeling a different sort of pressure because both the guys whom Andrew was aiming to beat at this past Arnold, Samson and Derek, they do not have to worry about getting their Olympia qualifications. Both Samson and Derek are qualified for life as they're both Miss Olympias. But Andrew on the other hand, he's gonna have to compete again sooner or later to get that done. Now Andrew Jack, during the finals of this past Arnold, he looked extremely impressive. And the thing is that the only two guys who were able to beat him, they were Olympia champions. Now Andrew still needs more size to beat a guy like Samson Dauda. In fact, he's the only one who can beat Samson Dauda even when Samson is 100%. But when Andrew puts on more size. Now in my opinion, the main issue with Andrew Jack, that is his age. He was improved at the Arnold in terms of the condition, but so far, he is unable to find that perfect balance. Where he has that wow factor, where he has the combination of everything, the size, the conditioning, the fullness, because he needs that crispiness along with that wow factor to beat those top guys. But that being said, some of the poses, like the side chest and the side triceps, which by the way were considered the biggest weaknesses of Andrew, they were massively improved at this past Arnold. Now, I think Andrew should go for this upcoming Dubai Pro, make the maximum out of competing, especially financially, as I do not think he will be able to compete for another 5 to 7 years. So he has to make the maximum out of his prime time. So guys, Hostile No Mercy sale is now live. So get up to 70% off and use the code FAZI10 to get 10% extra discount. Next up, we have an update from Marcelo, aka Hmd from Brazil. So I am kind of surprised why Hmd did not go for this upcoming Arnold Brazil. He would have been a top contender to win in Brazil, and that opinion is based on his last performance, which was at the Big Man Weekend last year, where Hmd placed second, and I'm gonna say a very close second behind a guy like Akeem Williams. So the least impressive aspect of Horse's physique at the Arnold, Ohio last year, that was his back. There was a mutual consensus that he would never be able to win a pro show unless he brings up his back. And he did make some crazy improvements in the back department in just a matter of a few months. Now Hmd did not take the full year off, and still, those improvements were kind of crazy. Now his back training is being prioritized during this ongoing off-season as well. And I for one expect him to show up with an even more improved physique the next time he steps on stage. Now Hmd has that massive quad sweep. That is his biggest strength. His waist was never small to begin with, even when he was pursuing the classic physique division. But he poses very well on the stage. And let's not forget, he was absolutely ripped to the bone last year at the Big Man weekend. Now horse with an ever improved back, he can potentially win his first pro show and can qualify for the Olympia this year. Next up, we have an off-season physique update of John Jewett. So he continues on to his push phase, the current weight that is at its all-time high. But somehow, John Jewett isn't putting on any body fat during this entire process. Now this wasn't always like this for John, because if we look back at his bulk phases, when he was competing in the 212, he wasn't as lean as he appears right now. Now safe to say, he just did not belong to the 212 division. And if we look at it purely from the basis of statistics on how John did at the Olympia in the 212 versus his first ever Miss Olympia in the Men's Open last year, the results are very comparable. He was 9th at the Olympia in the 212 and he was 11th at the Olympia last year in the Men's Open. But the thing is, he faded very much from the prejudging to the finals. And as per the scorecards, if John would have maintained that same look from the prejudging all the way till the finals, he would have been top 9 at his Olympia debut, which is kind of huge. Now, if we take a look at the transformation of the physiques in the Men's Open division in just 1 year, John Jewett is the standout. The way he was able to make so much drastic improvements in his physique, they are simply unbelievable. Especially the way his lower lats grew from 2023 to 2024. That was just bonkers. Now I think he's gonna compete sometime during the end of the summer. And the man is gonna be a much better bodybuilder this time around with less weaknesses. Now we will see him on the Olympia stage again for sure, since the man doesn't miss on the conditioning mark as well. Next up is the update of Dhestiny, the elite IFBB Pro competitor and probably the best physique in that league right now. Now that is a physique that we all want to see make a switch to the Pro League and do some real damage here, as the man has got some great quality. Plus all that money given out in the Pro League this year, that should be an extra motivation to make that switch, as this is the right time to make the money by just competing. So the last show that Dhestiny did, and he won, that was in 2024. Now it was Benu's Classic, where Dhestiny won the overall, and he got 30k in the prize money. Now he isn't gonna be big enough, especially in the men's open category, but he can be a real force in the 212. He has kind of a similar look to Tony Burton, very round muscle bellies, deep feathering quads, which is something we rarely see these days. Now Dhestiny looks so good and so far ahead of the competition in the Elite Pro League, and the man is just gonna continue to win even if he shows up with that same physique over and over again. Now, if he switches over to the IFBB Pro League, at the very least, he's gonna have a lot more motivation to improve, to be better. Now, who else thinks that Dhestiny can be very competitive in the 212 class if he brings up his back? And also hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.